Max Griffin versus Ramiz Brahimaj. We got minus 165 on Max Griffin and plus 145 on Brahimaj. Griffin opened up roughly around minus 195 and now he's down to minus 165. Fight doesn't go to decision is plus 125. And if you know anything about Ramiz Brahimaj, that guy does not like going to a decision. He's won, so he's 8-2, and all 8 wins have come via submission. He's always seeking the choke. Like he's always seeking any type of submission, but he loves his guillotine choke. He loves the arm triangle choke. And it's always fun to see him go out there and try to pull off those types of submissions. It's been a while since he's been in the cage, though. So the last time he fought was March of 2019. Now here we upcoming, what is that? 8 plus 12. We got 20-month layoff. And not to his, it's not obviously his fault. He was actually scheduled to fight Miguel Beza on the Contender Series in 2019. He had to pull out due to injury. Then he was called in to fight Takashi Sato June on the Poirier and Hooker card. Unfortunately, he had to pull out because of his cornerman testing positive for COVID. And now here he is back once again 5 months later, I should say, close to 5 months later, since he was booked to fight Takashi Sato against Max Griffin. I don't like when guys are out of the cage for that long. You know what I mean? Especially when they're coming in to make their UFC debut, especially against a guy as experienced as and as skilled as Max Griffin. So that's a no-no right off the bat. A positive I will give him, he's training over there at Fortis MMA, who in my opinion is one of the higher ranked gyms in the world right now. Maybe not have a super camp like the Jacksons or the ATTs of the world, but they do have quality head coaches and quality bodies and sparring partners as well for those guys to go out there and get some solid experience and practice in the training room. This fight's a tough one for Ramiz, excuse me. So the last time he went to a decision, he lost to Justin Patterson. We saw his gas tank start to fail him in that second round. And when I see guys that have gas tank issues, no matter how many times they've gone out there and finished a fight, it gives me some issues, especially when you're talking about a guy going up against Max Griffin, who hasn't been submitted in his career at all. I think the last time, actually, I may be wrong on that. He did get, he got submitted in an exhibition fight for the Ultimate Fighter back in 2012 by Matt Secor via triangle choke. But since then, the only time he lost via stoppage was to Colby Covington back in 2016. But since then, he's just been going to decisions pretty much. His chin has held up against heavy hitters like Curtis Millender, Thiago Alves, Alex Morono. You know what I mean? I say what you want about Morono, but he does has heavy hands for sure. And then Alex Oliveira, he did a good job in staying resilient in that fight, battling back after a very, very tough cut that he had to deal with too, I believe in that second round. And in that third round, he ends up on top after reversing Cowboy Oliveira. Unfortunately, he still comes out on the poor or the unfortunate end of a split decision. He's right now in his last 5, he's 1-4 in his last 5, and his only win was a majority decision over Zaleem Imadaev in a fight where I believe Imadaev was had a point taken away pretty much right in the beginning of the fight. I like Griffin in this fight. Again, more experience. Ramiz, I need to see a little bit more from his game rather than just being a finisher. I always have question marks about guys coming into the UFC where all their finishes in the past have been or all the wins have been by, early finishes. Whereas guys like, Max Griffin, he's been to the full 15 minutes. He's been the entire time where he doesn't have to worry about being finished or anything like that. I like Max Griffin here. Maybe not at the minus 165 line. I don't think he's the shit or anything like that, but I still need to see what we're working with Brahimaj. He is a no-gi IBJJF champion, so that's something to keep your eye on as well in terms of his submission game. But I just don't see him submitting Max Griffin, who again has not been submitted in a very long time. I like Griffin to win this fight. I probably won't put any money on this fight though. If anything, I wouldn't mind seeing what the fight doesn't go to decision is plus 125. Maybe the under 2.5 is not that bad. Then again, Griffin has gone to a decision a lot in his last couple of fights, and I could see him kind of playing it as safe as possible. Yeah, especially going to a decision against Cowboy Oliveira, who I believe is just as wild and chaotic as Ramiz Brahimaj can be at times. But yeah, I do like Max Griffin to win this fight. I'll say by third round TKO after overwhelming Brahimaj in that third. But yeah, very very tough way to get a read on this fight. But I do like Griffin via third round stoppage or even a decision victory.